as well. Chad, we're into the first map. It's Cobblestone.
I'm going to start off with my trademark.
What's
Let's get ready to rumble! I've stolen that trademark.
I really got into that one last time, but after about 12
time.
hours, I'm kind of not really there.
Look, time has gone so quickly for me because I've been enjoying this day profusely, so I'm still feeling as sprightly as I was earlier.
Yeah, I'm still fine. It's just like getting that level, like when I was screaming earlier, and kind of really
I'll have to carry us on this one.
Maybe I'll get into it. If you start doing it, maybe I'll get into this.
First round going in the favour of Heroic. There's JUGi picking up with a nice little entry killer. niko on the AWP this time round, as JUGi has been relegated down to the AK-47. Has to find 2 players. Will spam and miss on Calyx. Their Diffuse going to come in right now for Space Soldiers, and they'll be evening this one up at 1 piece of each.
That's not too bad at all. Well,
bit of an AWP blunder. I don't know what happened there.
Getting an early round on the CT side. You're really aiming for about 3 or 4 here, so that's a good start. Crucial. Maybe they can take an early lead here.
Alrighty, so the AWP is back in JUGi's hands. Maybe there was a wrong selection going in there from old mate niko, but once again, JUGi finding an opening tag right there onto Calyx, and niko finishing him off. Wonder why he's D-niko. Do you reckon that's because there's 2 nikos at the event?
Yeah, I guess it kind of helps to separate them. I'm not 100% sure. niko. Oh dear, it's going to be XANTARES though, and he knows where D-niko is. Not going to find the shot though. niko coming up trumps. It's going to be another round for the T side here. 2-1, Chad. And what kind of scoreline would you be hoping for on the T side here? You're looking for the 15-0 straight. What would you be happy with?
I feel like you have to hope the RNG is on your side a little bit as the Ts. I think you'd probably prefer to have the A bomb site maybe, as your preferred one. So I think if on the Ts you'd be happy with about 9. I know we've seen other maps where it's been blowouts and the Ts have had like 12 rounds, but I think Cobble is a little bit more even in the retake game. I think there's more avenues to make it into the bomb site.
The ever-evolving
right?
retake game.
More avenues.
We've had ones on the side.
More avenues.
Yeah, well, there's very open bomb sites that lend themselves to AWPing, I think, especially on the T side. Like, not so much the CT side, I think you're kind of limited. It's like, if it comes down to a clutch like this, you're 2v1.
Yep.
You then have to come and get really close range, go for no scopes like Kenny was earlier. Like, it's really rough. I think on the T side, it's certainly viable, not so much CT. But then again, how do you shut down the T side AWP without one yourself? It's the double-edged sword.
Yeah, so if you saw what happened just then was JUGi picked from Stables into Connector. Now, maybe if you know that the AWP is on the prowl like it is, don't be picking the choke point straight away as the rifler. Maybe wait a couple of seconds, make that AWPer have to flick between different areas, because you have 40 seconds on the clock once that bomb goes down. You don't really need to rush. You're already relatively close to the site. You can take your time and you can chill out a little bit and then make a calculated decision from there. If your teammate spawns down mid-round for an A long or something, he can also palm out information. So just be a little bit more calculated, focus on the communication, and the frags should come from. And there's one of them. XANTARES taking down niko. JUGi now. 2-on-1 situation. No utility to work with. Is it a good plan? Ooh, Zanny!
Ooh, getting it done.
Get that defuse up here.
That's not bad at all. Well, Calyx, another defuse for him. It's XANTARES with 2 frags. And they find their second round, 4-2 now. Slow but steady, getting into this one now. Space Soldiers from Turkey, if you're not aware. I'm not known to be a Counter-Strike nation, Chad. I can't think of any big teams from 1.6. They're probably like WCG events.
Dark Passage.
Yeah, did they damage?
Not particularly. A couple of upsets here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
Nothing to really write home about. And then there's Madja, who was playing in the French scene in 1.6, but he's actually Turkish, I believe. Yeah, like you said, not a whole lot of history.
But it's still
not like the UK Counter-Strike scene.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. That's obviously.
Jeez Louise.
Wow. Okay. XANTARES, little wallbang there to finish things off, and it's going to be a defuse that comes in his favour as well.
Yeah, they were playing a very heads-up, fast-grounded Counter-Strike in the match against G2, but I think G2 were making that the brand of Counter-Strike that was getting played, if that makes sense. They took their time, then they both spawned to come from behind, and they waited it out, 1 drop and 1 long, and managed to pinch it perfectly. And you see what I mean right there? You wait a couple of seconds, now JUGi has to move because there's too many choke points for 2 players to cover, and the pressure's on. Dink comes in. Swarming CTs will finish him off, and niko in a 2-on-1 situation. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Chad. Yes, it's me, Henry G, in the studio, live and direct with Space Soldiers versus Heroic. It's a 2 versus 1 situation, and XANTARES, he comes up, trumps once again, double frag, and Space Soldiers on the CT side have tied things up. 4-4 now. Heroic starting to feel the pressure.
Well, it's pretty hot under the lights.
It's pretty dark in that studio, actually.
No, I meant our lights.
Oh, okay.
So I can.
You got the sweat patches like me?
It might have gone.
Right, I've still got... No, I might have gone as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's cooled down a little bit.
Yeah.
That's nice. Oh, a boost coming in
Yeah,
here.
GT did this earlier in the first round of their game. So Space Soldiers are used to seeing this.
Yeah.
They know it's a possibility.
That map territory that gives, you know, the definitive answer that no one's coming from Connector or, I guess, the vent room is very important for JUGi. He can really focus now on the side cross, but this is a tight angle. If he hits their shot, the crowd will go wild. Whoa! And that's the crowd going wild there, Hank.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. That's perked me right up. It's up to XANTARES now. Cannot win this round. Surely not. He's going to have to get straight on the bomb right away. No, he can't even get past. Too far gone. Good try. Nonetheless, it's always going to be rough on the CT side. Heroic still another round away. 5-4. They take the lead here. A little replay of this nice shot. Oh, that's actually quite disciplined, right? Because he had the player crossing the bomb site. Some people would try and flick and maybe get that kill in his favor, but waited for it and got delivered the goods.
There by niko.
Always a safe smoke. You can't, this is why it's such a T-sided affair, right? Because you can smoke off that key choke point. How do you even get out of that? Like, unless you go flash over and you get lucky and get through this way, you're still coming for a great screen.
You're up the creek without a paddle.
Yeah, so you have to go drop down, but they do find a kill. Calyx delivering once again, Chad, with the AWP.
JUGi
Up to niko!
JUGi probably overstepping his bounds there, I would say, Henry.
Yeah,
I know that you guys were very... Actually, it wasn't you guys, was it? It was something else I was watching earlier today. Moses was very impressed with something that happened in a 2-on-1 situation.
What, his tournament where he's at?
Yeah. It was the Dark-sided team. They played a really reserved situation.
Darkside, are they the Australian team?
Yeah, they beat Enigma 6 and knocked him out of the tournament.
I don't know who Enigma is. Can you remind
It's like
me?
Whitmer and Vice. And
Oh,
those
okay, North
American
American
guys,
team.
yeah.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Dick Stacey is my favorite player. Real pace behind that one there. XANTARES bowls niko over for a duck. And finishes off JUGi, hashtag cricket reference, hashtag
Should we do some more cricket stuff? I don't think there's enough cricket.
bowling, Shane. Do you remember Shane Warne?
Shane Warne is one of my favourite, yeah.
He's a bit of a womanizer like Matthew. So.
Yeah, he's a bit of the bad boy of the cricket scene, isn't he?
Yeah.
The master of spin as well.
He was dating Liz Hurley.
Really?
Actually, he still could be.
He's got his trademark hair as well, which I believe is fake now. But
No. He went. He got he got it sorted out.
yeah, that's what I mean. But so it's fake now, right?
No. It's not a toupee. It's like
Oh,
regrowth
right.
of
It's
the-
like a procedure.
Yeah, he got it done.
But still, like he's always been an icon of your country.
Yeah,
I think.
greatest spin bowler ever. I think.
Spin, yeah.
Yeah, the king of spin.
I think we should get into cricket. We should get a charity game set up. All the esports
Yeah,
personalities.
the problem is we don't really have enough of us.
It's
who
one of
know
our 6
cricket.
guys have ever played cricket.
We have to play like a bad sport,
Like have to like
NFL or something.
softball or something like that.
Yeah.
Something everyone can have a go with. Badminton, of course. What else would it be? Apart from fucking badminton, the sport that haunts us perpetually here in CS:GO. We've never done stuff like that. Like, I guess we've got the football match coming up with the SK and VP.
Yeah, well,
Not that hyped about that, to be honest.
Me either.
Like, well, I don't really care. But you know, maybe it'll be interesting.
Other fans care.
I guess it'll be streamed, right? We're just doing like a video.
It'll be cool, but like you're gonna have the ticker of the Brazilians versus the brute force of the Polish. It's not really gonna be a beautiful game.
I only play Prison Rules. Just get stuck in there. Like, I'll break some
If
legs.
they play Prison Rules, then Virtus.pro are gonna win.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Snacks will be breaking people over his knee. Come here, bitch.
Grab Taco, just snap him off.
No money for you, bitch.
That's a great one. Simple. I hope he did some more banter here.
He's a character,
Money
isn't
for
he?
you, bitch. He's so good.
He's such a funny guy. I love it.
He's a nice man as well. He gets a lot of shit for maybe not being so, but yeah, he's actually a lovely
He's
person.
just a passionate guy, right? Like, I feel people like Get Right because he's passionate, but it's the same thing. Like, the only reason that Simple, you know, maybe gets upset about things is because he wants to win so badly.
Yeah.
You can't fault somebody for having a hunger to win.
No, absolutely. And he's a very young man as well. It's difficult to control those emotions. It's not a natural environment, being this age and being in front of the camera all the time, playing for millions of dollars and all this sort of stuff, and like traveling around the world, living in another country. There's lots of different variables there that can drive a man insane, you know?
Speaking of living together, or living in other countries or whatever, I heard the Space Soldiers guys all live together.
They do, indeed.
That's like the hyperbolic chamber out of Dragon Ball Z. It's a great way to kind of speed things up in a shorter period of time, I would say, Hank.
niko gets it done.
That's it, 9-6. That was the scoreline that I predicted, and that's the scoreline that we've got. The Oracle, they call me. The Prophet.
I think Space Soldiers will actually be happy with that either way. Like, they only got 4 against G2, and they still blew them out of the water, so...
Yeah.
See what happens here. XANTARES with his new long hair. Got the hairband in right now. He only keeps the hairband in when he's playing. So he wants the hair down, Chad, but he doesn't want it in his eyes. He doesn't want to risk that.
So he's like a good sports when he has the sweatband on?
Yeah, exactly. You haven't seen many sweatbands in these sports.
No, unfortunately, no.
We've got some, like, we have hand warmers. Did you ever, when you were a player, right? Did you ever see the benefits of a hand warmer? Or are you just doing it because everyone else is doing
Only
it?
in the later stages I started doing it, and that's because I started to get very sore hands.
Okay.
So it was better just to make sure they stayed warm as opposed to
Would you not
cold.
get sweaty hands from these hot packs?
Not really, because you just keep moving it. It's basically just something to play with, right? You could just use one of those spinners. I don't know if
Fidget
you've seen
spinner,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I've
Or
heard they've just hit Australia. They were on the TV, right, when we were there last week. They were talking about them on every news segment saying, the new hot craze, the fidget spinner, is this a bad thing for your kids? Like, there was all that shit going on. I was like,
Australian news is the most. I got asked to do an interview for Sunrise, right?
I watched it. I didn't
yeah,
watch it.
you
I watched
did watch
Mitch.
it, but I just didn't want to. I didn't want to go on it and do it because of like the fact that these Muppets just spin narratives in Australia and make it seem like it's such a negative thing. I would have lost it on.
Yeah, that's what they do with the
national
fidget
TV.
spinner, though. That thing, literally, that spin. They're like, is this ruining classrooms? Is it ruining our kids? And
Just if you don't want to
stopping
use
learning?
it, just say don't use the thing.
Yeah. They're making such a big deal of it, like it's like a new drug or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit of metal that spins around. Like, I mean,
My
calm down.
country's very.
Yeah, your country's been weird
JUGi!
like that. Hey, we should probably get back to the game, shouldn't we?
No, that's okay because we're still in the early
We're
stage of the second half.
I guess it's fine. One thing I wanted to know about Australia as well, overall, it's like a podcast slash commentary.
Yeah, it's
sort of
talk
vibe
from
we've got going on.
Ghana with Chad and Henry.
So basically, another thing I had a problem with Australia was like it's got a reputation being a massive drinking nation, right? But it seems to be like stifled in every way. You can't
So
actually drink anywhere.
Sydney's a bit rooted, I would say, in the sense of they've recently, in the last, I think it's like 2 to 4 years, something like that,
Yeah.
have these new drinking lockout laws. It was never like that before, and actually the lockout laws have.
It just seems like everything's really regulated over there. Like trying to buy cigarettes as well with like $37 for a pack. Like I get it, you don't want people to smoke, but
yeah, then just
like
ban
it's still
them, really,
it's
if you
still
don't
there. Like
just
you're still
smoke.
just robbing them at that point. Like you're just taking money,
Yeah.
and like they're still going to buy them. It doesn't really stop anyone from smoking. I don't know.
Yeah, we're pretty backwards, right? We do have a very loose culture in that sense, but it's just like we're almost like a country of SJWs, right? Like
Yeah.
everything just needs to be regulated and looked after. And
Where's the fun? That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
well, the fun's happening right now as XANTARES is putting on a show for us, putting
Let's
both
go.
members of Heroic to bed right now and tying it up 9 pieces of each as we are moving into the middle part of this second half. Actually, 10-9 in favor of Space
Yeah,
Soldiers.
this is where Space Soldiers get into it. They've got the lead on the T half as well. This is going to be rough. Like, I don't see a world
The
of Heroic win
AWP,
this.
yeah, JUGi still is bashing his head against a brick wall to bring that AWP out. He is making up the mid-ramp. He's got a lucky spawn here, I would say. This is a good chance for him to find a frag, but both players from Space Soldiers are relatively hidden. It's not like they're in any danger, and we'll find niko. But he knows where he is. XANTARES is playing very aggressive, and JUGi gifted a frag there, Henry. That's a blunder. They might be regretting that one later down the track.
It might do. Might very well do. Well,
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was important, but guess I just won't talk anymore.
no, it's absolutely fine. I enjoyed it. But we do tie things up, I believe. There it is, 10-10. AWP's out once again. This is what we were saying before. Is Space Soldiers don't use the AWP, Chad, here on Cobblestone T side. They're more than happy to set up, not the triangle, but I guess
They've got one half of the triangle.
the half triangle of Doom. And JUGi now.
I just think, you know, the fact that they're so competent with these AKs, they're not giving away frags. Like, in the sense of what XANTARES did on the previous round where he actually overstepped his bounds and he got picked off. Sure. The AWP can be very penetrating if you are lucky enough to pick the right angle and find the frag, right? But it is that gamble. Which choke point do I watch? Like, how do I apply this? But yeah. Who else is in the Space Soldiers team?
I
I know it seems like a bit of an awkward question. These are the 2 standout names.
remember Tugok's in there as well, but he's now gone.
Okay.
So I couldn't tell you. I do. If you told me them, I'd say, oh yeah, it's him. But I can't remember
it's
right
one
now.
of those moments right now. Isn't it?
Yeah,
I
and
just
unfortunately,
threw you
they
under the
don't
bus.
come to many events. That's my customers' assembly. They could have well changed the teams since then. That was a while
Yeah.
ago. But there we go. They're just so snappy, that AK. Like, it's just, they look really controlled and calm when they're shooting. Like,
They're actually playing the situation, the Crossfires, very well. They have a good synergy in these after-plan scenarios. They're not fighting in choke points where they can't really be traded. Even if they do get into a duel, they're still delaying time. It's good to see. You know, they're not just relying on aim. They're kind of using all the best bits of Counter-Strike to their advantage. And a flash comes off, isn't going to get XANTARES, and he's going to fire, I guess, madly. As JUGi now knows where he is. He will find XANTARES. Calyx pushes up to cannons, grabs one, has to finish off JUGi here to get the 2-piece feed. Jumps up on the
get
cannons.
the 2-piece feed in.
And will do it.
Well, I think this is looking like Space Soldiers will be running away with map number 1. I can't remember map number 2. Was it Overpass or Cache, maybe? Mirage. It was Mirage. It was definitely Mirage.
It was Mirage.
And then we get a map if required on the 3rd. Thank you for sticking with us today, guys. So we obviously, it's the first time we're gauging this kind of setup. And
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect in terms of like how the games would
I
progress.
didn't expect so many overtimes.
No, me either. I think that neither did production.
No. So it's been interesting, but hopefully you're enjoying. We obviously have a lot of fun here with this one that we're trying to make a little bit looser.
We can't keep everyone happy, Henry.
Yeah. Well, we try and do what we can, but we're trying mixing it up between casting and fun and discussion, and I think we're finding a pretty good balance right now.
Yeah, well, I think
you listen to us banging on about Counter-Strike all the time. Sometimes it's nice to talk about something else, you know.
Even when we're not talking about Counter-Strike, it's somehow related to Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Well, I think we're coming to the closing sectors here, Chad. 14-10, and Space Soldiers looking like they were hitting everything, but XANTARES now in the 2 versus 1 against niko's the platform. That's a rare miss from the young man. Yeah, normally hits those.
It's mounting, isn't it? Even though they're looking in a good position to close this match out, they whiffed a couple of sitters there, and Heroic fighting back, but I don't think it's going to be enough because the way that this half's progressed so far, they haven't looked like they've had much of a chance. Haven't been given a lot of a chance here, and it is back to that A bomb site where Space Soldiers had that string of success. Will we see more of it as both players are moving quickly over for that boost? That was good initiative. They didn't waste any time. XANTARES now taking full control. Connector is theirs in the palm of their hand, you might say, and JUGi coming up the mid-ramp. Has a lot of angles to check right now. His teammate, niko, oh, that flash absolutely destroyed JUGi, and XANTARES is going to show him the door, and Calyx getting match point with a nice shot there onto niko.
You love to see it. Space Soldiers looking very comfortable here on Cobblestone. If you're just joining us and wondering, how has a team like Space Soldiers arrived at this event and this sort of lineup, likes of FaZe and G2, Na'Vi? Well, actually, they beat G2 earlier in quite convincing fashion. 2-0, very skilled players, obviously under the radar, and showing us why they are here right now. XANTARES with a double kill to finish things off there, Chad. 16-11.
Yeah,
quite a clinical victory.
XANTARES had enough. Put him on the dick and...
What? Did what?
Said see you later, alligator.
Have a sit on this.
In a wild crocodile.
Well, that was exciting. I enjoyed myself there. It's going to be 16-11. That was the first map of this last series of the day. You can see JUGi there, not looking too impressed with it. But they move on to their map next.
Yeah, why isn't he getting up? He should be getting up, having a team talk, high-fiving.
Have a high five.
Channeling the inner secret girls high five.
What do you think about the outfits, the Bumblebee?
I love it. I think it's great that... I wish back in my day we had matching outfits.
You keep saying that, yeah.
I know it sounds a little bit silly, but it is a team, right? And you want to emulate as much of that as possible. I think like when you're practicing, you should have practice wear. Everyone should have a practice shirt on.
Yeah.
It's a mindset that you need to be in. I think these teams who are not taking it like to that level are doing themselves a disservice.
Okay, we're getting ourselves a conversation here, a debate maybe. Okay, so you kind of think that obviously it's a job, and you should be even when you're practicing, like a football team when they're going to to go to the practice, they're in suits and everything, holding the training bags and everything like that, taking it very seriously, showing they care about their job and showing like some camaraderie in that sense.
Definitely.
And you feel like when we're traveling and we're going to be potentially spotted in the public eyes of 5, you should be dressed up and looking like you're here and you care.
Yeah, Astralis and North seem to travel like that. They have their shirts on and stuff. I'm not saying you need to be like dressed up to the T or anything like that, but I think representing the brand, you should always be representing, the best image that you can. And the one with the practice is a big one for me. In Renegades when we were living in that casino, some of the guys would be waking up at 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Practice starts at 4, they're rolling on in, they got food, they're eating while I'm trying to call strategies and stuff. It would annoy the shit out of me, to be completely honest with you. And I think it's just, you need an authority figure. And I think nowadays, now that we have coaches and team houses and all this level of things, you are seeing a lot more regimented organizations, right?
One thing I wanted to ask you obviously lived in the team house. You did that harder thing. Like it wasn't so much as I guess it wasn't as intense as if you're in a hotel room and everything. So you can even be on different floors. I had no idea. But do you think that's beneficial to like a team like Space Soldiers who live together? Do you think it's going to make them a better team overall, or can it cause more trouble than it's worth?
They would have to be doing things together outside of the game, right? You need to be actually able to enjoy different facets of life, or maybe have your own escapes from it, because sure, when you're at this young age, you live, breathe, eat Counter-Strike, but you need to mature away from it, and you need to learn those other skill sets in life. For me specifically, when we were in the hotel, because it was in Las Vegas, a very bad place to be if you're not a citizen, you don't have a car, all that kind of stuff. It's not great, right? The drugs, the drinking, the gambling, all that kind of stuff, it's not really conducive with a good environment for getting better at a game. But I'm sure what these guys have is a nice house. They probably have their own rooms.
The gaming house thing is an interesting topic. It definitely
Yeah,
is.
that's what I get into, really.
Yeah,
I think if you're this young, good
that's
on
the
ya.
thing. You need a father figure. You
Yeah.
need someone that's going to keep you. That's why I like when they say, I see regimented. I forget who it was that said, like, you get fined if you didn't put your trash away.
that was
You would-
Hex from Optic.
Yeah, exactly, which I think is awesome.
I
think
love that
that's the
too.
best because, look, if this all goes sour, these kids are 18, 19, you know, in the earliest ages. Some are younger than that. They don't have a post-secondary education. If the gaming thing ends, they need to have life skills and responsibility that they can translate into an actual job afterwards.
Teach
So
them
I
how
think
to adult.
it's extremely
Because
important.
they could get absolutely wrecked in that
Yeah,
respect. They
100%.
don't understand what it means to have a real job and everything like that, and they have to work hard. And they've been kind of brought up to think they're amazing, they're best in the world at this one thing, and everyone's treating them like royalty. They don't realize how fragile this ecosystem is right now. This could go horribly wrong in the next 2 years, and there's most of them don't really have the personality to kind of maybe jump into something like this, like kind of be on camera.
Yeah, it's different.
That's why you should be saving in investing and not building cars.
Well, exactly, but the point is what I make is like when you're going forward, you need to at least have some sort of idea that life isn't as easy as it is right now. Like it's not. This is a fairy tale for a lot of these players, and it might not last forever.
And a lot of us as well are behind.
Oh,
behind
absolutely.
The camera,
I'm well aware
right?
of that. Yeah.
You don't want to find yourself working at Woolworths, stacking shelves, trying to finish your law degree, do you?
No, and that's the thing. I mean, everyone in the esports industry, you know, in the player or talent perspective, is in a quite good position that could easily end.
Yeah.
And you can't take it for granted.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow, the hard truth is
and
hitting
the harder
right
part-
now, aren't
the
they,
harder
boys?
part
The harder part is that I was going to say as well is you know, for someone of our age, you know, I went through school and paid for it myself. I went through being impoverished, if you want to say. I had debt. I was stressed out. You know, I appreciate both sides of it. Even me, at times, I feel like I take it for granted that you know, I'm in a better position than a lot of my friends are, for example.
Yeah.
Not in the craziest luxury position, but you know, I'm comfortable. Whereas when you are 18, 19, you don't really understand both sides of the story, and all of a sudden you just have a nice bank account, and you don't really put perspective on that.
Maybe that's the next thing, right? Helping your players within your team invest their money correctly.
I guess you could do like seminars as an adult, like if you own an org, like you said, the guy from Optic, right? What's his name?
Hex.
Hex.
Yeah.
He could like give kind of give like lectures and stuff and explain.
Bring in an account.
Yeah,
that just says like, hey, we'll work with you.
Just explain how he got to his position, what you should do with your money, how you can make it work for you, and all that sort of stuff. Instead of just saying, have loads of money, just go do what you want, buy some Rolexes and cars and stuff like that. It'll be wicked. Like, you can just educate them.
I don't know about in the English Premier League or potentially the NHL, things like that, but I know in Aussie rules football in Australia, because it's the same deal, it's young kids, right, in sport, they actually have like financial advisors who help these guys invest their money correctly.
Yeah,
or tell them,
and they should do.
I think you know, that kind of stuff. Obviously, we're not dealing on that scale yet. We're definitely heading in that direction, and I hope one day we get there. But even still, at this level, like Henry said, you shouldn't be going out every paycheck and just blowing it. You need to be a bit more responsible with that money because, like we already touched on, it's a very fragile environment that we currently work in.
Yeah, and no one really knows where it's going.
Well, thank you for joining in with Talking Counter episode 1. This week's topics have been gaming houses, salaries, and being an idiot with your money. Next week, we'll be discussing... What were we discussing?
Maybe something a bit more Counter-Strike related. No, this is still
It's
Counter-Strike
Counter-Strike.
related.
It's a hot topic.
That's it. Yeah, I think this is actually probably the best discussion we've had today in terms of being informative, if I'm completely
How did
honest.
we get so serious?
Yeah, I don't mind it. If it's organic.
Yeah, they
Well,
came
wouldn't
out
this
of
just
nowhere.
be drop the bomb?
Yeah, I think at this
Speaking
point
of-
it's not branded. Oh, go on, Matt.
No, well, I'm not.
You going to drop a bomb yourself?
I've done a few in this chair, actually. You guys just can't smell them from over there.
Good.
God
Lord. He's
damn.
back.
Yeah.
Back
So,
in the room.
Space Soldiers,
Yes.
looking as we expected, took map 1.
Yeah, absolutely. That was clinical from them. As soon as they got into the second half, it's that T side is so scary from them.
Smooth
That
sailing.
double AK setup, like they just look so powerful. XANTARES, amazing. Calyx, it's really calm and disciplined of his shooting. Great crossfires. They just look like they know exactly what they need to do to win here. And moving on to Mirage as well. Sure, this is heroic pick, but it doesn't really mean much in terms of who's playing the best CS today. It's Space Soldiers. They're looking like the better players, and I think it should be quite an easy 2-0. But you never know. I guess Mirage still lends itself to the orbs. Maybe a little bit more on the T side this time, on the CT side this time for the retakes. You can actually have a few more options to work with and cover your teammate as he pushes in.
JUGi won a couple of good 1v2s as well when we were watching this game before, Matt. So with on Mirage,
Yes,
he had a real miracle play.
Yeah, which was literally the play you finished saying, like, they have to go for these. You can't save your gun. And in a real game, you wouldn't go for that.
I guess in some respects, this shouldn't be that T-sided because, yes, right now, the C side because right, you can throw that one on Cobble. You throw that one key smoke on the B side towards connector. That's
Yeah.
that locked off, right?
Yeah.
And you're wrecked. Mirage, you can smoke CD Spawn. There's a way by the ticker booth, and I guess you can smoke connector. But at the same time, you can just change your position or just tell your teammate, and it shouldn't be that difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's many angles.
Yeah.
Many angles.
There
And many
are
ways
lots of
to
different
counter the
options.
angles.
Which did we think was the most CT sided that we've seen so far?
I think
sorry,
T-sided.
T-sided.
Most T-sided?
I
Was
think
it
Cash
Inferno?
was up there because of the vent situation,
yeah, that's
Cash
true.
was up there.
and Cobble as well with that B bomb site especially.
We
Inferno
only saw
seems-
Train the once.
Inferno was 13-2.
Inferno to be fair.
Yeah, Inferno's quite
Yeah,
T-sided.
Inferno, yeah, definitely.
I
Because you got
think
A side, you got the pit and the site,
Yeah.
and then B side, you've got those real tight choke points. You got to come through CD Spawn, which is probably smoked off as well. Yeah, I think Inferno probably takes the crown.
And he's asleep again.
Oh, not again, Parla.
Don't wake him up. Don't wake him up.
Parla, Parla.
That's real this time. And
Oh,
there's
God.
Edis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the party
Space
animals.
soldiers. He's having a dream and probably living
Oh,
in outer
it's
space
amazing.
right now.
Oh, they're kind of
That's so
symmetrical.
adorable.
They said they were going to have a disco nap now. They're planning on going out later, so they're like, well, let's nap now, and then we'll be ready. We'll be
I think what I do
infused.
is run and jump and land right between the two of them.
You could do that right now,
Um,
and we could cast it.
Matthew,
That's what we do.
currently running from the studio.
Trips, runs
Left
into the
foot,
wall.
Right foot. Left
Seems
foot.
like he's bleeding, but it's fine.
You missed the wrestling before that Parla and Henry.
I could hear it behind the couch. I was laying down, enjoying my company of.
They were
I think we
doing-
were still a little bit
seized
drunk at that
and a few
point.
other
They were
people.
It was
doing the people's elbow.
People's Elbows, Stone Cold Stunner, all the
Yeah.
big ones. The Worm, I tried to get.
What
Parla
did
to
what did the Undertaker do?
do. He did the Tombstone.
That's right, where the choking. Yeah.
No. Tombstone is when you put them between your legs and.
You
Drop
jump
on
up
the
and
head.
spin them. Even I know that. I
What,
don't
was
watch.
that Kane that
Kane
lifted-
did the
Kane-
choke slam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kane, that was his signature. Big Show, same thing as well, but it's called a showstopper. He was like 7'10" or something.
Henry,
Yep. Hello.
you could win a karambit.
Oh.
Ultraviolet.
Okay then. What was the hashtag for Secret versus North?
That's a good question.
I don't even know.
Ooh, Secret versus. Do we have one?
I don't remember.
Did we make
making
up?
one.
Oh, it was the one that Paula said that was awful. I'm assuming.
Is that the one?
Is that the one, Vlad? That's the one? Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's a
okay.
terrible one.
It's
was
a nice.
awful.
It's a nice little knife. Exclamation mark raffle plus your answer.
This is the most brain-racking one we've had yet today.
I can't even say what that is. I think I know. I don't want to say it. Does it rhyme with mouth?
Yeah, it
Okay.
does. It does.
All right, there you go.
Speaking of mouth, you get a nice wide one.
Yeah. It's perfect for some things.
Chocolate bars.
Chocolate bars. They like those here in Bucharest. I've heard.
Mex, is it Mex? I think it's called Mex Bar they have here.
Mex bar.
I think.
I really like the Lion bar.
You do. So does Jason.
Yeah, I think it's just got all the key elements. It's got a bit of crunch. It's obviously got the chocolate.
It's caramel.
It's quite delicious.
That's a German bar, though, Lion.
Is it really?
Is it?
Well, I don't know
thought
if
was
it
a-
is German, but we get it in Germany.
I think it's
that's
a
the only
British.
place
I
I've
think-
ever seen it,
yeah.
but I've not looked for it
Isn't
anywhere
it a
else.
British?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe it is. Okay. I've only ever seen it in Germany, but again, I don't really look for it, so I could
Do you
be
have?
wrong.
Are you restricted in Canada the same way that America is? Because I know that Hershey's don't allow milk chocolate in the style of Cadbury's to be made in North America, right? They only do the sugar chocolate.
Yes, which is like really dry and disgusting,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's
It's really like
terrible.
it's like crumbly.
Yeah, so I'm curious if that is the case in
Yeah,
Canada.
it depends. It's different for each individual. Like, for example, what they call Smarties in the States, we call Rockets in Canada. I didn't really fully hear your question because I was talking to
Yeah,
production.
you're-
Because production wants me to throw to you and get the heck out of here.
All
So
right.
please.
Let's get ready to rumble, Henry G.
Thank you so much, Chad.
JD.
Yes, we're here in the esports arena. It's Heroic versus Space Soldiers at the HTC 2v2 tournament powered by PGL. We're going to have Heroic one map down at the moment up against XANTARES and Calyx. The dark horse of this tournament, and actually for so far, looking the most impressive. And we're not live right now, so we're just going to calm down, reel it in, and take it back down. We're going to do it
Henry.
again. Chad, I'd like you to do the same introduction. And if we live now, can we get
I
confirmation
think,
this is live?
I think this is live. Oh,
Oh. Okay, so Chad, I'm going to ask you for a prediction going into this one.
Space Soldiers are going to win this game.
They're starting T-side
Yeah,
as well.
We're all going to be in the shuttle together on the way home. We're going to be talking about how fantastically they did. XANTARES is going to be saying, a baller. Calyx is going to be fist bumping everybody.
Clearly said bumping.
What did you think I was going to say?
He's going to be fisting everyone in the shuttle, celebrating, getting everyone hyped. Okay, I think now
All right.
We are ready to go. Chad, please introduce him.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Thank you so much, Chad. Yes, it's me, Henry G, down in the esports arena. It's Heroic versus Space Soldiers, the second map of the best of 3. Space Soldiers looking clinical so far in their performance, and we move on to Mirage as well. The bomb has implanted Calyx in the middle of the site, and XANTARES once again getting this nice synergy going. They'll be using information from the A site to allow XANTARES to get his aggression on potentially. He's looking
What
towards
is
the
happening right now?
I can hear typing. That's why I kind of slowed myself down.
Oh.
I was like, I don't think it's live.
We might need another reset.
Yeah, I didn't want to get too hyped.
These guys don't want to go home, Henry.
I don't think anyone does. I think we want to stay here.
Why
Let's
would we?
just
This
start the
office
second
is
round.
really nice. I don't think I've been in an office for
It's
a
cool,
company
isn't it?
as nice as this one.
It's beautiful. Like, it's so big as well. And
Yeah.
like, they've got well, we are. I think that does suggest it's not live. So we gave it a good go, Chad. I don't think I can do that introduction again. It's actually starting to have my voice now.
Yeah, we won't do it again. That's okay. Let's
We'll save that for tomorrow. Like, everyone knows how good we are
yeah,
now.
we're fantastic. Are we the new duo?
I think we're the new duo. The new Joe Miller and Tosbot.
Oh yeah.
Matt's red eye.
I guess this is live, right? Like this looks live.
Okay, well, we'll get back into it.
That was a really bad spam there by XANTARES. That's the worst thing I've seen.
Still
him do all
wins
day.
though, dude.
Yeah. Win's a win, right?
All he does is win.
How did you? Yeah, so I know that you felt overwhelmed by my La Renegades and my amazing K strategies running over you in middle.
Yeah.
Were you just blown out of the water? Were you frustrated? Did you
No,
think?
like once you started, we realized what we got ourselves into.
Okay.
When like the players, like the people seem to forget, like everyone like disregards Renegades. It's like, oh, they're not doing amazing in the top 10 right now. They must be bad players, right?
Yeah.
They don't realize these guys, like at this level, once you make yourself a professional player getting paid to play the game, like compared to a fucking scrub like me, like they're going to be absolutely wrecking. It's going to be an easy game for them. Like Justillo as well. People underrate how good he is, and like Azza, like those are amazing fraggers you have in that team. And like once it started, I was like, well, there's nothing we can really do here.
I tried to tell you.
I know, but once we got kind of done the game and I knew I got myself into it, obviously we've got to make it exciting for the crowd, right? We've got to make it like seem like there's some sort of rival there. If I come out saying, oh no guys, I'm only joking, I know I'm going to lose, but I might as well go along with it, right? And
Yeah, you're a good sport about it.
make it happen. And even right at the end of it, I was like, I might as well go along with this as villain line. I could do the pussy. Oh, that was nice actually. Quick scope. I could have done the pussy thing and it's like going, oh guys, you know what? No, it was a great game. I just wanted to keep it going, see how hated I could get in that crowd. And everyone tweeted me after saying like, yeah, you know what? Like, oh, well done. We really enjoyed it. It was a good part of the show.
Yeah,
you know?
There's probably a couple of idiots that would have taken things a little bit seriously.
There were a few tweets there.
Everybody was.
I don't think they realised I don't actually play CS. Like it was, I played with. I think the most we ever played it when we were at ESL was like maybe 3 games, maybe 5 or 6 games in a week, and that lasted a couple of weeks, and then we stopped playing because we had so many events, so much work, and then I played maybe once,
it gets
one
hard
game
to keep
every
that up.
fortnight now. It's just not good enough. Like it's not fun when you're so bad at the game. You need to put some hours in and actually get yourself into it. But XANTARES, he's been putting the hours in, Chad. It
Yeah,
looks
they're
like.
the people who definitely put hours in and don't play pub
For
battlegrounds
me,
like us.
for me, it's not really worth putting the hours in these days. I watch enough Counter-Strike. Playing it, sure, it might help me get my head in the game.
I
You
still
find it beneficial?
feel like I'm kind of in a position where if I wanted to put time in again, I could still be okay. But I think from watching so many demos and watching people play Counter-Strike at this level, it's more than I ever watched as a player. Like, it's not that I'm forced to. Obviously, this is a job that I choose to do right now. But you learn so much because you're watching such a vast amount of players. And mechanically, sure, maybe I can't mimic the movement style as much, and I'd have to think about it a lot harder than what these guys do.
Sure.
But in just the approach to their game, it's just amazing to see. And I think like little things like that, you bring into your own game. And you would definitely do the same, right? But you have the same issue as me. You just mechanically can't pull it off. It's like, fuck, I know I should know how to do this.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like I watch it now. Like I just don't know. I don't like, to be fair. Like it's so many small nuances. You can watch someone do a smoke, right? But unless you sit down on the server and actually practice it yourself, or have to do the right-click flashbangs and stuff like that, you try and think, oh, remember that one. Then you can actually come and do it. And you can't do it. I'm not going on servers and practicing smokes and everything, right? So like for me, like I get in the server, I realize how lost I am, and was like, God, there's so many hours I need to put in this game before I can actually maybe even compete at the lowest level. If I put a month into it, right? And I was like grinding it out. I was playing with people who knew what they're doing. Like, bring me up to scratch. I've been a reasonable player, but right now it's just not worth it. Heroic pick up their first round. So there we go.
Nice by them. They finally get one on the board, like you're saying. They're all from JUGi coming into play. Let's just bring up when we see the little frags here.
Yeah, there can't be many frags.
No,
I
wouldn't say many at all.
Here we go. It's a lot. We need to sort this little.
So JUGi and niko, 3 frags and 2 frags. Look at this teamwork going on here, though. These little things like this is not something which you would normally be expecting because the way this works is you instantly spawn,
Yeah.
you have to plant the bomb and communicate what utility you have. So the fact that this is still happening and they're still able to pull out teamwork like this is insane. Like, it's showing the level of communication under a high-pressure situation as XANTARES is able to poke out there and
He's
take
so
down
sick,
JUGi.
isn't he?
Yeah, it's just like, it's not, when I say aimbot, I don't mean I think he's cheating. What I mean is it's just so
Unreal.
clinical in the way that they can approach
Yeah.
a corner that they're just snapping heads off like that.
Yeah, Matt made a point of his crosshair placement, like being some of the best he's seen. I think that's absolutely correct. Like
Yeah.
the fact every angle he faces, he seems to be so ready to take the headshot. He's
Yeah.
got it in the perfect position. Like it's so impressive. Like it's very few players who are in the top teams in the world who can aim like he can. Like there might be better players overall, more complete package, but in terms of him raw skill and aim, he's up there with the likes of like Simple, I would say, in terms of that
sure, yeah.
initial shot he's got, which is really cool.
And that comes down to like muscle memory, right? So once you reach a certain level of playing Counter-Strike, let's say like a Forest or a Get Right, maybe even like a Flusher to some extent.
Yeah.
You're only playing a certain amount of Counter-Strike to keep you at the level you need to be at, right? Like you don't need to be putting, well, not that you don't need to be, but you put your time into other facets of the game, right, to help you as a team. Whereas these kids who live, breathe, eat, love Counter-Strike, they're sitting on the shitter, taking a dump, thinking about, man, imagine this situation if I had a Deagle and
Yeah.
like. That's the level of obsessed as to where you play so much Counter-Strike that it becomes muscle memory and your crosshair placement is second nature. You're not even thinking about it in the instant. And that's why these kids like Rops, obviously Niko is one of them, XANTARES, like we're seeing right now, Simple, they're all the new age, the new gen of Counter-Strike. And that's why they are the future. You can have as much experience as you want, but as soon as these kids get a little bit on you, they're coming for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really exciting time in CSGO right now. And we always talk about it as being the most competitive era we've probably ever had in the entirety of CS, I would say, ever. Obviously, even going back to 1.6, there was always like that top 10. There was a few outsiders that could cause damage, but there's never a point, I don't think, where anyone in the top 30 could conceivably actually take a pop at someone like an SK or something like that, right? So that's kind of exciting in that respect.
Yeah, and it used to be if you were in that circuit, you stayed in that circuit because you were one of the very few professionals, and to break into that was impossible, and you could never dedicate as much time as them because they were used as a career.
Well, yeah, you could never do that.
You couldn't do it.
Yeah, you
now
could.
it's a possibility.
You couldn't justify the hours because you weren't getting paid for it. Very few people actually being paid at 1.6. Really, like even if they were, it wasn't anywhere near the numbers we're getting.
Sure, yeah.
These days, like you wouldn't believe how much money can be made as a professional player overall. But it's good. It obviously keeps the dream alive and keeps these players playing as much as they do and keep them passionate. Like you might just think it's a cop out and they're just doing it for the money, but it actually does help in that respect. Like you think, oh wow, I can actually become a really successful person by being good at this computer game. It drives you, right?
Another strong lead from Space Soldiers here on Mirage. They're really running away with this, but we saw before there was a comeback.
They're really buggering their asses, I would say. at this point.
Powdering bottoms. The
Powdering
belt
bottoms.
is out.
Yeah, this is brutal at some points. You hate to see it. Heroic.
I guess they love giving a good spanking.
Yeah, and who doesn't like doing that?
I don't like to receive one.
Oh, I like it a little bit, Chad. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay.
Being beaten up a little bit every now and then.
Yeah.
Like, that does it for me.
I prefer to be in charge.
So any lads out there listening, you know what I like.
Jesus. This little gap, that's a cheeky little gap.
I didn't even know that was like that open. Like, oh god, he's kind of sick as well.
Yeah.
Just bullying.
This
at
is
point.
the thing, right? Because when XANTARES was in the Space Soldiers team and Calyx was in the other Turkish team, I think it was Dark Passage or whatever it was. It was always like, man, imagine if these two guys got together and we're in the same team. And we haven't really seen they haven't fulfilled that level yet. But it's a slow burn. I think they're going to get there. Like, I think they'll be a top team.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Like, if everyone, I remember casting him for a day. They had his sick AWPer as well. I can't remember his name. I'll
Look, I'll bring it up right now.
Yeah, bring it up there now. They had some sick AWPer, and he was really good. It was an assembly, right? Like tier 3 opposition, maybe it was like Epsilon and like Ents and stuff like that. But the AWPer was like lights out as well. They didn't have Calyx at that point. So I'm interested to see how this team develops overall. Like, if they can find a complete package, I know they've got great backing from Space Soldiers, actually a relatively unknown org, but they have, like, Edis is here as well. He's like the owner of it. He treats all the players very well. Like you said, they have a gaming house. They get everything they possibly need to be a successful organization, a successful team overall, specifically in CSGO. I think they have got the right tools there available to them. It's just a matter of time. You're absolutely right. Before they start turning up, maybe getting a decent placement at a reasonable event, like a DreamHack Open or something like that.
Maybe
then they start getting the invites in there, and then they can get some experience against top teams, and then maybe they could actually break the top 15 and actually start causing some damage there.
All right, so they're currently ranked 29th in the world.
Yeah.
We've obviously got XANTARES and Calyx. They have a player called Paz, P-A-Z.
That's the one I think I'm thinking of.
Despi, D-E-S-P-E.
Or maybe him as well. I
And
can't
then
tell you.
they have Madja, who I was talking about before. He was kind of...
It's either Paz or Despy, the Orville.
yeah, Madja was from the 1.6 scene, but he was playing in France. So these guys have kind of... that means there's been quite a few roster changes, because I remember there being different players in that team over the years.
Well, Heroic. 13-2 in the first half, just to note. But kicking things off on the right foot here.
Well, it's a quick game's a good game, my mum always used to say. Or probably still says. She's definitely still with me.
Did she say that?
It's Mother's Day. Yeah, she did. It's
You don't
Mother's
have to
Day.
say Mother's Day as us. It's Mother's Day in Australia, sure.
Yeah,
Coming up
Australia,
or today? Tomorrow.
Sunday.
You sent the old trout anything?
Wow.
That's not specific at your mum. That's what I call my mum, the old trout.
The old trout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know heard that before?
No,
That's what
I've heard
everyone calls their mum the
No,
old
I've
trout.
never heard that before. She'll get flowers tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Hope you're not watching.
Should be
This is
asleep.
virtual.
It's probably like
Is that
4
your
a.m.
name? Don't know.
Calyx jumping up the stairs, taking a nice shot in there onto Yugi. Niko with a bit of a choke spam as XANTARES puts him down, gets on that defuse, and another round in the pocket of Space Soldiers. They're now 2 away from victory and wrapping up the first day here at the HTC
behind
2v2
Invitational.
by PGL.
Yeah, there you go.
We also have HyperX.
They're kicking about. We've got Sam here, or as I like to call him, Hank. He's got
Hank Jr.
Hank Jr. He's got the headset on.
Aggressive play by Niko into City Spawn right now.
Oh,
Fake
the pistol!
flash. It's gonna do it!
Oh!
How you like me now?
Yeah.
You know what I saw from Rops? Where XANTARES was in
He can't
spawn,
win
you
this
can
round,
jump
by the
on the corner of the truck and you can see through that little fencing, and if they're aggressive on CT, you can grab a frag.
Here's a refrag. Calyx probably die.
Whee!
Oh,
Oh!
Quick! XANTARES,
So-
help him!
He can do this. He can do this. JUGi! Believe in the heart of the cards. Oh. too
Every
good.
time he just wins and wins and wins. 15. He's going to get the defuse just about. And there it is. Match at series point. We have Sadikist making his way back in. Suggests he's confident the Space Soldiers can close this one out.
Classic Matthew Entrus. Dick out.
Yeah, why is he doing that?
I don't know.
Here he comes.
Sometimes you just have to air it all out.
Last round,
let
here,
it
Henry.
out in
Last
the
round, Henry.
winds.
Give it to us.
What are we doing?
This is the last round.
Oh, okay. Do you want to actually... Right, let's get into
Yeah,
this
here
one,
we
shall we? Okay. 15-3. Heroic desperately trying to hold on to...
They got crushed.
They did, really, but they're going to keep it alive for now, but looks things. XANTARES has been a thorn in their side, but not for long. It's been removed. A set of tweezers has been deployed and taken it out. It's Niko to find the second frag. They're going to need 11 frags in a row. 11 rounds
11
in a row, I
rounds,
should say.
22
Just
frags
before it's
in a row.
overtime.
Bomb back down on the A bomb site here in the default position, not particularly well placed for T's in an after plant scenario, meaning they are going to have to stay relatively close to the bomb. JUGi pushing down towards the A ramp, checking out what's going over there with the AWP. Not going to find anything as both CTs are retaking from one CT spawn and one the connector area. Flash pops out, delaying the counter terrace. XANTARES now looking for information. Pre-firing over towards apps. Now he's pre-firing towards the A ramp area. Will be found by JUGi, and now Calyx going to get dropped by Niko. And another round on the board for Heroic as they are standing up here in the
I
face
came in.
of adversity.
I've done what Henry's done. I
Yeah.
came in, sat down, overtime incoming.
Yeah, that's probably...
And that's what we want to see, because beautiful Counter-Strike is played
That's what
day
it's all
in,
about.
day out here. You don't get this every day of the week, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Crumbs around the world. Put
Oh,
your
crumbs.
hands in
They all
the air.
crumbs.
Ah, crumbs. Crumbs.
Crumbs.
Crumbs. Tasty crumbs.
My dog licks up the crumbs. Why do you do that? That's too graphic.
What noise do you think that is, Matthew?
Oh, I think you know what it is. It's
Oh.
a puppy slurping up milk.
Well, why is that graphic?
It's because I miss my dog.
Another round for Heroic here, Chad. Oh, maybe not. The P250 has been deployed. JUGi goes down, but the bomb feels like it's too far gone. Niko, simple frag to finish things off there. A lot of work to do here still, but they're closing the gap ever so slightly. 15-6 now. And
I like narrow things. Speaking of
Well,
narrow,
wouldn't like us then.
yeah, you'd really have a rough time, Chad, with this. What I'm packing. Might as well
Just
go
go
straight. Yeah, just
go
don't
direct
even-
as hell.
Don't even
We've
like,
lost
allude
all
to it.
subtlety. We've lost. I mean, the G stands for girth.
Yeah, the Girthquake. That's what we affectionately call it. Well,
this
Matt
is
calls
it.
it that.
This is it. Space Soldier's about to win.
Or are they? Yugi knows.
JUGi knows.
I'm not here to cast. You guys cast. I'm not even good at it.
No, that's true. Oh, the Girthquake delivers. And the Tech 9
Felt a
comes
rumble
out.
in the room there.
Yeah.
Jesus, I'm
Henry's trouser snake growing as Heroic grow closer and closer to taking this to overtime.
There once was a man from Nantucket.
He liked to drink cheese.
Nope.
Drink cheese.
Yeah, cream
yeah.
cheese.
Okay.
Cream cheese, okay. That's creamy.
XANTARES.
This could be it. This could be the one. niko left in a 1 versus 2. He's in the corner, holding off on Cat. Knows there's one to his left, one to his right. It needs to find them and get them in time. It's not going to happen. XANTARES will close it.
That's it. It's closed up. It's been a great day here in the esports arena powered by HTC, the 2v2